I am beyond pleased to tell you that I was right. Thank God. Thank God I was right. I would have been so embarrassed if I made all of those videos about the Tamagotchi connection re-releasing and then it didn't re-release. I would have been very, very embarrassed. But I was correct. We have officially received an announcement of the Tamagotchi connection. There are pre-orders up and ready. There's a lot to get into, so let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to hopefully tell you everything we know so far about the Tamagotchi connection re-release, and I will also be telling you how I feel about it because I have feelings, but well, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing to talk about, of course, is the announcement on Instagram. Okay, so these sound effects are sending me. I don't know where it's sending me, but it's sending me somewhere. Oh my God, this looks so cute. This looks so cute. I am salty about some things with this release, and I will get into that. But this whole vibe, I'm here for it. I didn't really expect myself to be feeling as nostalgic as I am about this. I think like seeing all of the Connections era artwork and everything has just gotten me really excited, and seeing a couple of shells from my childhood is also very exciting. For the most part, I love this. I'm very, very excited. However, right off the bat, when I saw this, I was like, what is this? What is this? I love the new background. I'm not gonna lie. On this one, I do love the new background that they put on. But this design, barf, kill me. Okay, that was my first visceral reaction was, what is this? Because this is not for me. Maybe it's for you, and that's fine. It's not for me. And I hate it. I think it's really hideous. I love the rainbow background. Again, very nice. I like to see a new background. But anyway, as you can see, we do have a nice collection, nice-ish collection of shells to choose from. They gave us, I believe, 6. So the first one on this list, we have this Tamagotchi Connection True Friends Blue Graffiti and Pink Graffiti. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I like the blue and the pink together. I think they look okay together as a set. Would I design this? Would I put this out there and be like, wow, this is what my fan base wants? No, I would not. They were like leaning into the American rebranding really hard. I really think they wanted this to feel like an American product, which it is, but it is also based on something that is Japanese. And I think Japanese design is usually a little bit more subtle and a little bit more elegant, maybe even with cutesy things. These just feel, they're not terrible. They're not terrible, but they're not for me. The pink I kind of like with the white buttons. The blue, I like, I don't know, this graffiti thing, they've done it throughout the years. I'm not really into it, okay? So I love that they have a set, like a paired set, and it's a little bit cheaper than buying 2 units. I love that. Very nice. Okay, moving on to the next shell design, which is Tamagotchi Connection Clear Retro. Love that there's a clear shell. This shell was my first pick, and do I love it? No. I feel like they're going for that like over the top 80s, 90s ugly carpet vibe, like the carpet like a Chuck E. Cheese or something. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. And I understand the intention. However, I feel like there is a prettier way to do this. I don't love this shell. I do love that it's a clear white shell. I might actually still pick this one up eventually, but I did change my initial pre-order, and I will get to that in a bit. Out of all the new designs, I think this one is the best, and I like it. I don't love it. I think it's a good candidate for a custom. Yeah, we already talked about the rainbow shell. I'm not with it. Nope. And then let's get into the nostalgic shell designs, okay? So here we have the Tamagotchi Connection ice cream shell, which I adore. I really do love this shell. It's a muted pastel pink with little ice cream cones and the purple and yellow accents. I think it's very, very nice. Is it my favorite V3 design? No, but is it a great candidate for a 20th anniversary device? Yes, absolutely. I think this is a very good design, very, very solid. I think I might have owned this one at one point, but I think it was as an adult and not as a kid. But I'm glad to see that a nostalgic design from my childhood actually did make it, because I did used to own the Connection version 3 Bubbles. Yeah, so here it is, gorgeous light blue shell. Is it in my taste now? Oh my god, I'm so whiny. Why am I complaining so much? Literally, okay. You'll see why I'm complaining. Okay, just hold on. I'm complaining a lot, but you'll see why I'm complaining. I have a lot of salt in my system, okay? So yes, Bubbles shell, great, awesome, love it. I think this is a classic. I think a lot of people are excited about this one. I think it actually sold out on Amazon. As of right now, these are available on Amazon US. I don't know about other countries. I'm very, very sorry. And there are a bunch of Japanese shells that are going to be coming out. I don't think those will be available on Amazon US. We don't really know where those will be available for pre-order yet, but as of right now, the American designs are all available on Amazon.com. I do believe that the True Friends set might have sold out or have something weird going on with the pre-order. Keep that in mind. It will probably restock soon. I've never seen a Tamagotchi item completely run out of pre-order in the past few years, so I don't think that's going to happen. If you really want the True Friends set, relax. I don't think it will be completely bought out. I think it will be fine. So those are the American shell designs, and this was just my first impression of the shell designs. And prior to the knowledge of the Japanese shell designs, I thought this was great. I wasn't super happy with the new shell designs, but I was just happy that this was happening in general, I guess. And then I think maybe 8 hours later, the Japanese announcement dropped. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I don't like looking at it. It hurts too much. Stop playing. That's enough. Get out of here. So that announcement was basically the same thing, but it was a little bit different. And by that, I mean a lot different, because Japan gets 4 gorgeous, beautiful, amazing Keitai inspired shells. I mean, for me personally, I usually prefer Japanese shells in general, and I kind of had a feeling that this would happen. Okay, we have very similar branding on the Japanese version of the Tamagotchi Connection website. Admittedly, this is a little bit more cute and pastel. And as you can see, we have 4 gorgeous, amazing, fantastic shell designs. I'm really salty. I'm really, really salty about this. This is very disappointing. And of course, I'm gonna end up buying some of these, but I'm gonna have to pay import fees. And I actually DM'd the Tamagotchi US page and asked if perhaps these shells might be released as like a wave 2 of the American shells, and they left me on red, which is okay. They're busy. I get it. And yeah, so these are just so gorgeous. They gave them a melon soda. What about us? Americans would like these. I I don't get it. I wish that they just gave everybody these 4 shells. Like maybe the American team was trying to be more gender neutral or something. I mean, these are more feminine, I guess, than the American designs. This is just it hurts my feelings. There's been no announcement as to where these will be sold. I imagine Amazon Japan will have them, which makes it easier for people in other countries to access these, which is great, but it will be more expensive than buying it locally. I just have a feeling that they're going to eventually release these as like wave 2 of the Tamagotchi Connection in America, and it will be a lot cheaper, and I will be very upset that I spent the money. Bandai US likes to pump out a lot of Tamagotchi shells, and these are great candidates. I mean, they're awesome. That's my main problem with this release. My main problem was them dropping these Japanese shells, and they look so much better than the American ones. That just really busted my... Anyway, they look great. I'm very excited to own these. Not all of them. I think I'm going to get the melon soda and the blue spaceship. Maybe the pink one too, honestly. The white is okay, but the melon soda and the blue spaceship are just so gorgeous. I really, really have to have those, and I'm willing to pay the extra money. I just wish I didn't have to. That is my main issue with this release. But let's get into the actual content of these devices, because I theorized that these would mainly be K-Tai based devices, or maybe like a K-Tai V3 mashup. I was wrong. These appear to be primarily based on the Tamagotchi Connection V3, which is great. Love that. Let's go ahead and look at the content that has been released concerning the gameplay of this device, because like I said, this primarily looks like a V3 clone, but with some things mixed in from the K-Tai. So Tamagotchi Connection is an interactive virtual pet that will grow up differently depending on how well you take care of it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is very basic. Feeding your Tamagotchi, disciplining it, cleaning up the poop, curing its illness, turning off the lights. Very, very basic. Both the K-Tai and the V3 have these features. And this was really exciting. They actually dropped the entire roster, which is super, super fun. So yes, there are over 50 characters. Somebody was hypothesizing that there might be like some secret characters, which is pretty exciting. There's no mention of that on this website, but they did give us all of these characters, which most of these are from the Tamagotchi Connection version 3. So for American fans, these look very familiar, but for Japanese fans, they might recognize some of these, but most of these were not on the Tamagotchi K-Tai. I think most of the K-Tai roster is included in this list, and then the rest of them are from the version 3. We do see some characters appear that actually did not appear on the Tamagotchi Connection version 3, which is super cool. So we have Ichigochi and Ringochi. I think both of those were not on the Tamagotchi Connection version 3. And as far as add-ons, that might be it. And then I think they omitted a few characters. I don't really have time to go through all the whole character list. This is what we know we are getting so far on the Connection version 20th. Very, very exciting. Very, very cool. I'm super excited to be able to raise Hanachi and Hinotamachi again. Those two are my favorites. And I was afraid that they would be skipped over if we were getting a K-Tai based release, but since it's V3 based, we will be seeing those two characters. Super, super cool. I love being able to raise young Memechi and young Mimichi. Kuchipachi has to be there, of course. I don't like the modernized Mamechi sprite. He's not my favorite, but he's there. Yeah, Androchi, yes, please. Queen, slay. Overall, super cool roster. And it's funny because like I used to play the version 3 a lot, but then when I saw these characters, I haven't played with one in so long, this felt like new to me. I'm really excited to explore this release and raise these characters. Tamagotchi character will pass away if you don't take care of it. This is interesting because this is actually the American death screen. The Japanese one is like a little grave icon and then a little ghost floating above it, which I kind of prefer. But having this angel egg shaped thing will be very nostalgic to see again for me. There are 7 mini games, which is super, super cool. And these are all games that were either on the K-Tai, the V3, or both. Get Music Notes game and the Hoops game were originally on the Tamagotchi K-Tai. And then the Bump game, Flag game, Heading game, Memory game, and Sprint game, I believe were all on the Tamagotchi version 3. So it's very cool that we will be getting these nostalgic games again. Oh, I didn't know this. Okay, so according to this, we will have 2 ways to buy items. either from the shop, which is like built into the game, or a random event where a salesperson will come and sell you something. And so that's very interesting. The built-in shop was unique to the American releases, like the version 2, version 3, version 4, whereas the salesperson was a Japanese thing. I think it began in the Keitai, and then it was also in the Entama and Uratama. So it's interesting that we get both. So the shopkeeper will come at random times and have one item available for you to buy, and the shopkeeper, I believe, will have 4 items at a time, if I'm remembering correctly from the version 3. And of course, we get these amazing, adorable animations, which I'm super, super excited about. That is definitely something that the Japanese connections don't have, or they have them, but they didn't do it as well as the American version. So I'm very excited. This little Memechi right here, writing down, "I'm fine," is is a mood. I cannot deal with that. Okay, so there's also a password system. I'm gonna get into the instruction manual and maybe it will give me more details about this, because I remember that there were like 2 different ways to input passwords on the Tamagotchi version 3. And the first way was to mash the A button until the shopkeeper panics, and then you can input a code like ABC, CBA, BAB, whatever, something like that. And then it'll give you an item from the shopkeeper. But this looks a little bit different. This looks like a 10-digit number password, which might be in a separate item, or it might be in a separate menu. So I will have to get clarification on that. But if there are 2 different ways to input passwords, that's pretty cool. And then of course it's Tamagotchi connection. So of course you can connect with your friends. Now getting into the connection part, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of these devices. I'm very, very excited to explore this again. There appear to be 3 different modes of connection. One is playing a game, one is visiting, and one is giving presents. And then the marriage, usually the marriage is random. I don't know if it's going to allow you to select marriage on this version. As far as I can remember, on the version 3, the American version, you could not choose when your Tamagotchi character got married. It would just randomly do it if the friendship level was high enough between a male and a female character. One of the most fun parts for me growing up was having my characters getting married and giving birth. That is everything on this website. Let's get into the instruction manual really quickly. I'm just gonna give a quick rundown of this. I'm not gonna read everything because that's no. Okay. First thing I notice is that you can choose your language between English and Japanese. Beautiful. Love it. Awesome. That should mean that the Japanese shells are also able to be played in English, which is awesome. They did keep the nickname function. That's interesting to me because I believe the nickname was originally used on Tamatown. And that is a good segue into my second biggest disappointment of this release, is that we sadly will not be able to play on Tamatown or some kind of app similar to Tamatown, which is an interesting choice to me, because when they were advertising the Connection version 3, which is what this device is based off of, the main feature that they highlighted in any advertising for this was the ability to go onto Tamatown and get passwords and play games, etc., etc. And it seems like the main feature they're trying to highlight with this release is the connection feature, which of course, Tamagotchi connection, blah, 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 whatever. Maybe they didn't want to invest the money in developing an app for something. Maybe they're testing the waters with this one, and the next release, if we get another release, we'll hopefully have Tamatown. I think that would be really awesome. I'm holding out hope. And I am disappointed that we don't get it for this one. However, I'm just happy that this is happening, and so far everything looks really good. I'm very hopeful that this will be a really cool release. For some reason, like, I'm getting kind of nostalgic for the Digital Monster version 20th. I think, like, since this is a 20th anniversary device and the Digital Monster version 20th is one of my favorites, I just have good memories from when that was released. So seeing something nostalgic from my childhood having a 20th anniversary release that is led by Bandai, I don't know, I have good feelings about this. I think I'm gonna really enjoy this, and I think most people who buy this will enjoy it as well. Okay, so you can name your Tamagotchi character. For me, it will be very nice to be able to name my characters in English again. This all looks very basic. Level of hunger and happiness, level of training, gotchi points. We do have a generation counter, which is very, very good. Items, okay, here we go. It does appear that you can get shopkeeper codes and passwords. And like I said, usually the passwords on the Tamagotchi version 3 were from Tamatown. So I'm wondering where we're supposed to find the passwords for the password items. You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna give us an app? I don't know. This makes me suspicious, especially because like the souvenir thing, that was also a Tamatown related thing. But there's been no mention of Tamatown, no mention of an app or anything like that. So do I think it's going to happen? No, but this is just not making sense to me. I guess they're going to release stuff on their Instagram or something, and that will be a way for us to find these codes. I really have no idea. Here's one of the codes for the shopkeeper. So like I said before, the shopkeeper codes are going to be based on the buttons of the device, A, B, and C. So you would hit the A button, the B button, etc., to put this code in when you make the shopkeeper make this face. It appears that each release or each shell design will have a code that comes with it that you can use. And that's very reminiscent of the Tamagotchi version 3 and version 2. I think they did that as well. Okay, so connection, you can play games. And okay, this gotchi point game, it's kind of like gambling, I think. I'm pretty sure that was from the K-Tai. I don't remember playing that in the version 3. Yes, okay, so you can play games with items, and that is a K-Tai based feature. So if you buy this ball or buy this car, or wait, actually, some of these look like the version 3 items as well. I know that like the balloon and the trumpet were definitely from the K-Tai, but these other items, I don't think they were from the K-Tai. Maybe the ball, maybe. But I can't remember if the version 3 had items that you could connect with. Yeah, because the K-Tai had specific items that if you own this item and you connected with another unit that also had the item, you would play with that item together. And I don't know if the version 3 had that or not. I know that the K-Tai definitely did it first. The K-Tai came out before the Tamagotchi Connection version 3, but this does seem to be kind of a mixture of both devices. So we can wrap and send gifts. I love that. That's super, super fun. And you can also visit, and I don't really know what visiting does. I can't really remember, but that will be kind of fun to figure it out. Okay, so after several connections, you and your favorite partner may become companions. If so, a baby will appear on each screen. Okay, so it's not saying anything about gender. It'd be cool if we could have like, same gender marriages. I don't know if that's actually gonna happen, but it could, I don't know. It doesn't really say anything about gender, it just says your favorite partner. Friend list, this looks exactly like the Tamagotchi Connection version 3, which is very, very fun to see this again. Okay, we can still make donations to the Gotchi King, yet there is no Tamatown. It appears that they kept a lot of features that were related to Tamatown, and now it's not there. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that these options are there. I think the Gotchi King donation actually originated on the K-Tai, and you didn't need to connect to any other software for this feature. I vaguely remember the Tamagotchi Connection version 3. If you donated enough to the Gotchi King, then you got something special from Tamatown, but I might be wrong. I'm not really sure. Right, okay, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap things up now. Overall, I'm very excited about this release. It's very, very cool that we are having a return of the Tamagotchi Connection era. I didn't really expect myself to feel this nostalgic about this release, but it hit me, and I am really excited. I don't really have many complaints except the fact that the Japanese shells are so much better. I really wish they didn't do that. Of course, nothing's ever perfect. It would have been really nice if those shells were available as well to the international market. I totally forgot to mention that these will be coming out in the United States on July 10th. It's gonna be a long wait. It's gonna be a long wait, but it's gonna be a really fun summer. I'm very, very excited. I believe that the Japanese shells are going to be released in August. I'm not sure the date on that, and we still don't know exactly where the pre-orders for those will be available. But yeah, overall, this is very, very exciting. I'm glad that they won't be in color. I'm glad that it's a mix of the version 3 and the K-tie. It's just going to be a trip. It's going to be a very nostalgic trip, and it'll be very exciting to unbox a Tamagotchi Connection after almost 20 years. But yeah, in terms of features, gameplay, characters, I think this is going to be really, really great and really, really fun. They are retailing now for $30 US,
which I wish it was 25, honestly, but they might go on sale, so I don't know.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Please let me know what you think about this release, what you think about the shell designs. If you disagree with me and think that the American shell designs are great, please let me know, and we can fight about it. And yeah, just I would love to hear what you are excited about, what you're not excited about. I will definitely be posting an unboxing video once I get mine in hand, so if that's something that you are interested in, please subscribe and come hang out with me whenever I stream, and we can just have fun. I don't know. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye!